Sexy Siva.
Yay, I
In
like
my
that.
chair, yeah?
I like that, sexy Siva.
Like you haven't heard it like a gazillion times already.
Yeah, well, you know, it's never hurts to have another person say it.
Well, I know that sitting here with you today is like a gazillion, bazillion women's dreams come true. And I get you in my chair and I'm super excited, and that's like a whole other fantasy and a whole other show. So we are going to go straight into how much tremendous success you've had, sweetheart. I mean, like, it's insane in the last 4 years how, you know, you went from being a model to being, and you were super successful at that too. And then, you went into the wanted phase, which blew you up all over the planet. And then you decided that you didn't want to do that anymore. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know most people would get you in their chair and they would talk about the wanted and they'll go on about like all the historical stuff. I don't want to do that because that interview, you can Google. People can know who you are. I want to talk about who you are today and why you made the decision to move forward in creating your own global personal brand. And of course, you've already got that brand, but now it's like it's more of a personal expression of who you are. Absolutely. Yeah. Talk to me about why you decided to just go that way in your career.
I just felt natural. I mean, we were together for 4 years, and we were kind of working non-stop. And music is amazing. The music is my life, and it became like a creative thing that we could. You know, we decided to kind of just go on a break, and it was very, very natural, no stress, no drama to it, and we all kind of agreed on it. And I was like, cool, I'm going to go and do my own stuff and be crazy and be Siva and yeah, do anything that's creative. And so I'm just doing my own stuff, my own music, my own everything.
Yeah, you're doing so much stuff. So let's talk about all of the things that you've got on your plate right now. I don't know how you're managing it all, but you know, considering the 4 crazy years of like literally, I remember you mentioning to me that you did not have hardly any days off during the 4 years that you were doing the wanted. Like how many days was it that you literally had off during that time period?
About 4 years, I'll say maybe less than 20 days off.
Oh my gosh. You've kind of taken that discipline and you've decided to now move it over into something that is your own. You mentioned just earlier that you're looking to, you know, just let people know across all different genres of creativity who you are, who you are as an identity, right? Am I right when I say that?
Perfectly right. She's got it. I don't need to speak. I can just sit here and she can just say it.
Let's talk about the fashion. You signed to Next modeling agency. Let's talk about that phase of everything. First of all, why did you decide to take Next models up on their, you know, their proposition to you? And how are you translating that over into kind of like taking your personal style to like that whole other level of individuality?
They had such a wide range of connections, and I knew a lot of people in the agency, and with their connections, with the people in fashion, it was a good way to kind of meet all those people and obviously share experiences with the agency. From that, I learned how to do work in fashions with business and with people, which is so important.
Absolutely.
Because they're both, they have a marriage, a strong marriage, and after that, after the whole experience with Next, I walked away knowing more about fashion, knowing more about how to speak to people and how to speak about fashion.
Yes.
And how to kind of create my own identity and who I am.
Yes. And who is the Siva fashion brand?
Yeah, it's the guy with the tall hair who's always wearing like fitted clothes, and I like to say dapper clothes, and yeah, it's the Asian dude who dresses smart,
Absolutely.
And, I'm like, I'd be happy to be referred to as that. But yeah, it's just someone who likes to take care of what they wear, and also who just loves to wear nice clothes and to look good.
Absolutely. So little birdie tells me that there's a fashion line in the works. Talk to me a little bit about what you're looking to do with like the first season of that.
Yeah, I mean, with the first season, I think it's probably going to be out maybe in a year's time, maybe. But I'm working on it now, and I'm just going to get a small range together and get some small quality pieces that I've fitted, and that just a guy can put on or a girl can put on. I'm thinking of doing girl range too. a
my
girl can
gosh.
put on and just look and feel great, and it's just quality stuff. I'm sick of wearing just shorts that always just fall apart in the washing machine, fall apart in the dryer. I just want to give people some quality fabrics, and hopefully I can build from that and learn and be better.
I'm really excited about, your perspective on what you think women should wear.
Well,
Tell me.
This is the guy's opinion, but my fiance is very into fashion, and I was thinking I might get her involved a bit, 'cause she's got a degree in fashion.
Absolutely.
So of course I want to take advantage of that. Why wouldn't you?
What a great collaboration.
Totally.
Not just in the personal sense. I mean, she's of course your fiance, but also in the professional realm. I think that's a great marriage.
She's quick. I'd only pick her to work with.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'd pick her to work with because she's actually really good at her job.
Yeah.
So that's why I wouldn't say no to it. It's amazing.
You've been a fashion model for many, many years before The Wanted, so you've probably had so much experience in the kinds of things that actually do look good on different types of bodies, right? Because of all the different designers that you've been privy to wearing over the years. Who are some of your favourite designers?
There's Deegnack, who's become more prominent in the fashion industry. There's Boris Bijan Saberi, and there's Alexander Plakov. These guys, these designers are just incredible, and they're just under the mainstream, but they're just great fabrics. From modelling, the main thing I learned was the fabrics and the quality of what I was wearing. The reason why you buy a $1,000 jacket is because that jacket is not going to fall apart.
Right.
It's not going to wear and tear. It's going to be like that in 2 years' time, and you learn those little things in the industry and other things I picked up along the way that I've thought, why doesn't other people wear this stuff? This is great. Other people, and that's why I want to do my own line, to kind of encourage wearing that stuff and promote it.
But I think that you really hit on an interesting point, Siva, because the reason why a lot of people don't wear those clothing is because they can't afford them. And you were mentioning to me off camera that you're looking at having a line that is a lot more affordable.
Yeah.
Right? So talk to me a little bit about that. Like, what kind of price range would we be looking at? Like, probably moderate, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I'm not going to do it too expensive because I don't think, I like keeping it reasonable, but not like, I wouldn't want people walking out of the shop crying from buying an expensive t-shirt, an expensive top. I keep it reasonable.
Yeah.
But
you still want them to get quality, right?
Yeah, totally. It's always about find that balance.
Yes.
I think I'll find that easy.
Let's talk about why you decided that go the solo route as a musical artist, because of course you wrote songs while you were with The Wanted. You have the whole musical background in terms of that. So how will your sound be different from what you guys did with The Wanted?
I think when you're in a group with 5 guys, you write to incorporate the other members and to fit the group sound.
Yes.
With my own music, I get to write, whether it be singer-songwriter, indie, I get to write for me, and it's totally me. It's not like, I won't get some other person and go, I'm not sure about that. It would sound better if you did it this way. And I'm like, okay, cool, I'm cool. I won't even get that anymore. I'll just get me writing a song, doing the music, and when I release it, it's just 100% Siva.
So what is that? What is 100% Siva right now? Because I know that you're in the works with your first set of songs, your first album. Like, what can we look forward to from Siva on that album thus far?
It's a new sound, and a new way of looking at music.
Okay.
And I've been fortunate to learn from the 4 years in the music industry. You learn what not to do. That's the one thing you can walk away from.
And that's a bigger lesson than what you can do, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
So now from that, I know what not to do and what people like. They'll be surprised, and it'll be a new sound. People hear on the radio go, "What's this? Who's this guy?" And they think, "Shit, this is different. Who's this guy? Oh, cool, it's Siva."
Yes.
And I want that, and I know I can do that.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm good at. So I'm looking forward to that. Indie sound, could be a bit pop, but definitely it'll make you move, make you maybe sweat on the dance floor.
And you have collaborations on the album?
Yes, I've got songs done. I'm not sure they're going to be in the album.
Okay.
But I've done the songs with Red Warren.
Yes.
I've done the songs with Rita Ora.
Yes, that's huge.
Yeah, it's great. She was great in the studio. And I'm just lucky that way. But I do want to focus on my own sound. I think that's most
Absolutely.
important. I think to release tracks with features,
It takes away from, the new identity
what I'm trying
of
to do.
you,
Yeah,
right?
the identity, and I think
Yeah.
that kind of comes later on when you've kind of established yourself. And I just want to just release my own music and be me for now, and then move into that.
And so who is me?
Me is a vibe-tastic dork who's just mostly chilled out and who's very creative. You know, from one day I'll be just painting something, or I'll be making something out of frigging clay, or I'll be singing something, I'll be writing. I just like being creative. Creative people just think of all options.
Yeah, you're right.
So
Absolutely.
that's who I am. I'm just very sporadic that way, and I enjoy it because it makes me. I mean, what's the word? It makes you feel like God, because God is a
Yes,
creator, and it
absolutely.
makes you feel like you're connected to that. You know?
That's a huge, poignant statement coming from a young guy.
Yeah.
It's the old soul in you, isn't it? So what about this mass female fan base that the Wanted have, and that you have, right? You're known as the Wanted's pretty boy, right? So are these women, these girls, going to be pleasantly surprised with your new sound? Or, do you feel that there's kind of a hurdle there because they're so associated?
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
I'm not really worried because I feel like I've always put something into the Wanted sound, 1/5 of it. And if that 1/5 even is in any way apparent in my now music,
Yes.
my present music, then I think I've already passed the hurdle. And also, I'm not really worried about it. I feel like if I go out there and be myself and be me, I can't go wrong. If you just be yourself, you can never go wrong.
Yes.
So, and then people will accept me for who I am. You
Absolutely.
know? And if they like me or if they don't like me, I'm still going to be happy doing what I do. So,
Because you did it from a place of, realness, right? Authenticity, and that's important, I guess.
people only take that in. People appreciate that,
Yeah.
being authentic and being real. And I appreciate that, so I
Yes.
wouldn't expect
Anything less.
anything less.
So when can we look forward to maybe a song being released? I mean, is there a time frame that you have?
I think next year you're gonna see a few new tracks that I've got a lot of tracks done already that I'm really excited about. That I wish I could divulge, but I will.
Yes.
With you, of course.
Yes.
And with you.
Yes.
When
you're good and ready.
When I'm ready. When I'm ready. Yeah, I think next year you'll hear some new tunes on the radio and be like, hey, what's
That's
this?
it. That's my boy.
Yeah,
that's
that's my
what I'm going to say.
boy.
That's my boy. So the great thing is next year. It almost seems like it's strategically being planned. I don't know if it is, or if it's been more of an organic experience for you, or maybe a combination of
It's a
both.
bit of both, yeah.
Would you say that?
Music is always that.
Yeah.
It's always how the people feel, how the artist feels.
Yeah.
And so you have most of the time you have like a strategy down.
Yes.
And most of the time that strategy changes about 1,000 times before you release a single. It
Yeah,
usually-
you're absolutely right. It's like with anything in
it
life,
has to,
right?
it's creative always moves. Oh, you know
Yes.
what? With this track, we could do a photo shoot out here.
Yeah.
When you plan this, but if we do it out here, it's going to take us 2 weeks longer. And you just have to do it because it feels right. Go by your
Yes.
gut. But probably, I'm being safe. I'm saying next year. It could come sooner, but I'd like to say next year so everyone's not like, hey.
What's going on?
Yeah.
You're late.
Yeah.
We're waiting for you. So you've got the first fashion line coming out next year. You've got your own music coming out next year. If you were to describe this kind of the creation of the Siva brand in a couple of words, or maybe in a couple of sentences, what would you say it is, so people can understand that? Because unfortunately or fortunately, whichever way you look at it, you're so branded with the Wanted.
Of course, yeah.
That how can they recognize this new Siva, or is that a surprise? Or is he still developing?
He's always
What would you
developing.
say? Yeah.
Siva's always developing. But I just think you're going to get a kind of groovy, stylistic, new person / sound
Yeah.
who just enjoys life, loves being creative, and loves surprising people.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get that. Mm-hmm. And people love surprises.
Yeah. I think
I know you do. You love surprises.
Totally. And another fabulous surprise you've got going on is you're taking acting classes, a little birdie told me.
Yes, I am, yeah.
And I hear also that you're very picky about, you know, what you want to take on, just because you'll get typecast immediately. And you've been typecast, let's face it, for as long as you've been in the Wanted.
Totally.
You don't want to be typecast anymore, I'm
No,
assuming.
of course. I mean, that's just like, I mean, it's okay to be typecasted sometimes, but you want to pick what typecast you want, you know?
Yes. So what are you picking?
I want to pick the kind of, obviously I want to pick the kind of, you know, loving lead role kind of guy, you know, the kind of leader, you know.
I think we would believe that.
Okay.
I think we'd believe that.
I would like that. I'd like to be the hero guy, you know, the guy who
Yes.
saves the cat. I don't want to go into some scene. I mean, I've got offered shows already here. I don't want to go into some scene being like, hey, Siva from The Wanted, you know,
I know, I
you
hear
know,
you.
I'm going to act, you know, I can do it. I don't want that. I want to work for it and make sure that I'm ready and that, I want to feel like I deserve it.
Yes.
I don't want to go in there while I'm, you know, with other actors who've worked for years
Yeah.
and earned it, you know. I don't want to go in there and not earn it. I want to practice and make it right.
I'm listening to your story now, and you could easily, off the back of like the momentum of your pop cultural kind of, you know, the radar that you're on, you could easily like release a song, an album, get out a few, you know, clothing lines, make a few appearances in some like big movies. But it almost seems like, no, you kind of like stepping back, and you're making sure that everything that you do, whether it's the fashion, whether it's, you know, the music, or whether it's acting, it's like, you know, you're stepping back because you want to feel like my brand needs to be credible. That's what I feel like I'm hearing from you. You don't just want to be famous. You want to be credible.
I'd love to be known as being credible,
Yes.
you know, regardless of music, and
Yes.
also in any way.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to be known as credible, though?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be known as the guy who, oh, he's good, he's okay, but you know, he got into this because of, you know, I don't.
But you'll be surprised how many people are okay with that, as long as they got the money coming in, and as long as everybody recognizes them when they walk into the door. But I don't get that vibe from you. I get the vibe where you want to be iconic, right? Like,
I want to be like, you want to be the best you can be.
yeah,
If you can't, you can never be perfect, but you've got to strive to be perfect.
yeah,
Striving for it makes you who you are.
Absolutely.
That's what I say. And if you can just do the best you can, and maybe better than everyone else, or maybe just the same as everyone else, but as long as you're the best you can, I think that's the right route. And then obviously, by doing the best you can, you become credible, and if by just being you,
yeah.
you know.
Are you facing any struggles at all right now? You know, at this
Right now?
particular phase of, you know, creating your own individual brand? Are there things that you've come across that you didn't think would be on your plate? Because, you know, it's different when you're a part of something with a lot of other people. So there's a lot of people participating in it. But, you know, now it's like it's all you. So have you come across anything that
Totally.
you did? Yeah.
Totally, yeah. I mean, with regards to strategy, business,
Yeah.
I was lucky because in the past, I was very involved in my business. So when I came from the band, I was like, okay, I know which way to do it, but it's a lot more workload. There's a lot of everything. I've got to make a lot more decisions, a lot more decisions on direction, on what themes, anything, types of sound, anything. It's all on me.
Yes.
Which is both scary,
Yeah.
but both really, really exciting.
Yes.
It's just like the most relieving, like freeing thing you can have, because it's just creative freedom. Because you do it your own way, you know.
Yes.
And then which you feel like when you become successful, you're like, yes,
I did it my way.
I did it my way.
And I made it happen.
Totally.
Right?
That's the best reward.
Yeah.
Totally.
So what would you say, Siva, to, you know, those people out there who are listening to this interview, who have seen you, you know, go from obscurity to superstardom? What would you say to them in terms of advice? Because you basically have faced everything that you could potentially face, you know, in that journey of rising to superstardom, that a lot of people going into the industry wouldn't have an idea about, especially like, you know, the younger generation who are super talented, and they have like these rose-tinted glasses, right? Of, you know, as long as I'm brilliant, you know, everyone's going to love me. But there's just so much more than that. What advice would you give to those kids?
Be nice to everyone. be nice to everyone on the way up, because usually, if you don't do as well as you aim to be, it's those people who will be your foundation. They'll keep pushing you to where you need to go. So let's just say you don't get this acting lesson, but your friend is like the person who helped you get there is pushing you because they believe that you're a nice person and you want to work and you want to do good.
Yes.
You'll get more people like that rooting for you, you know?
Yes.
And that's what I've learned. Be nice to everyone, and they'll be nice to you and for the coming years, because it's the only way you can be. You cannot be anything else. If you're rude, negative, or, not grateful for your position,
That's a big one, isn't it?
Because you only, as the saying goes, you only own a small portion of the world's worries. You don't have all the world's worries on your shoulders.
Absolutely.
So you've just got to take it with a pinch of salt on your negative stuff and just follow your gut, aim high, and you get it.
Anything that you feel, looking back over your journey so far, right, since the beginning when you were in Ireland and you first got exposed to modelling through, your older sister, to now, is there anything looking back that you'd say, God, I wish I hadn't done that?
I would say I wouldn't have any regrets. Mm-hmm. Because you only have regrets because you learn from your mistakes. You make your mistakes to learn.
Yes.
And regrets and mistakes and and achievements are what make you who you are now. Mm-hmm. So I can't really say that. I can't say, I think I've done everything right getting here.
Yes.
I think I've done most things business-wise, career-wise right. I followed my gut. Mm-hmm. I've gone for it. I believed that I was going to get somewhere. I always believe.
Yes.
If no one's going to believe in you, just believe in yourself.
Yes.
And just go for it. You've got nothing to lose. And if something doesn't feel right, it's probably not right.
What would be your message to your fans? What would you say to them? Just the massive experience that you've had since the beginning.
I love you. You're just great. Yeah. My fans have always been real to me. I've always been real to them, and I think that's what makes. I think that's what every celebrity should be like, or every person with in this status should be real to your fans and not be cliche, fake, or tell lies or cover up and because these people are your fans idolize you and they learn from you just as much as I learn from them.
Yes.
And you want to learn from someone who's real with you. You want to learn from someone who's going to say, you know what, you're going to have weak moments, you're going to have strong moments, and you're going to grow with them. And they're going to make you stronger just as much as you're going to make them stronger. So thanks for supporting me, and I'll continue to support you and be there for you.
And you know what? I think that your fans are going to be super excited to hear that you've got all these things that you're working on. The music, the acting, and of course the fashion. And I know that this is just the beginning. I mean, this is just, a few of the many things I know that are going to happen for you. You got to come back. You got to talk to me and tell me more as more develops in your mind and the Siva brand goes from superstardom, where it already has started off at, to who knows where.
Well, mega stardom, as you call it.
Mega stardom. Thank you so much for
Pleasure.
spending time on my show. I adore you, darling, and I'm looking forward to the next time you come back. All right?
Definitely.
And, tell me some more stuff. All right?
I'll tell you more stuff.
When you're getting married.
That's the next time. I'll talk about next time. That's a long story.
Okay, but it's a cool story.
It is It's a good one.
All right, sweetie. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Mwah.